Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. I'm sure you all probably heard about what happened in Toronto with that Cenotaph or the Remembrance Day memorial being vandalized a day after Remembrance Day. And, it's typical. It was probably some Antifa losers or something like that, right? I doubt it was. Maybe there was a Syrian refugee or something involved as well, but that's my guess. Is probably some Antifa scum, and they spray painted some shit on the memorial. And you see the outrage from Don Cherry from the comments that he made, and all the people still going on about it, still writing articles about it, and using this to pretty much poke the finger at us and press in the wound of us being replaced in our own country. Most of the articles I'm seeing and all these Twitter, all these leftist pundits are like, oh, they're just mad about the changing times and all this crap that's happening in Canada. It's the dying death throes of the populist, yada yada yada. But is Justin Trudeau and the left and a lot of these liberals going to come out and call out what happened to this memorial? No. If they would have done it already if they were going to do it, right? Maybe they'll get some more pressure, then they'll be forced to kind of do it. But if they didn't do it now, then they were never going to do it. And if it was a hijab, if it was a Muslim girl who said her hijab was pulled off, then you could be sure it would be an international issue, and every politician, left and right, would be condemning it and be like, this is a horrible act. But when it's Memorial Day thing and it's clearly vandalized, there's nothing we really need to figure out about it. It's been vandalized. You can just condemn it very easily. It's not like we have to, like with the girl with the hijab being pulled off, figure out, did this really happen first, which should have happened, what Trudeau and all these other people do before they come and virtue signal. But this is a different case. It did happen. We see graffiti. It was bad. You can easily come and condemn it, but they won't. The only leftists that are condemning it are the ones that live in Toronto that are essentially forced to do it, like Ford, or not Ford, but John Tory and a few other leftists that are like, oh, this is terrible. But it should be condemned internationally or nationally throughout the entire country. It should be a bigger issue, but it's not. It's some stupid, like I said, hijab pulling is going to be a bigger issue. But hey, Sapo, how's it going, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Hello, Warp Pulley. All the bigotry against Canadians that you probably see in Winnipeg is in Toronto, but amplified. Yeah, probably. Hey, Kaz, how's it going, man? Yeah, I finished kind of early today because the weather was, it's like minus 30 today, and the wind was blowing a lot. So the work that we're supposed to do is not really doable in those kind of conditions, because it would just blow all the snow over all of your finished work, and it would just kind of fuck it up. Hey, Jesus, how's it going, buddy? We are the dead. We throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If we break faith with us, who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders field. Well, thank you for that, man. I appreciate it. Hey, John Keaton. I'll bet it was a white boy. Yeah, it probably was a white person, like a girl. Like I'm saying, it was some Antifa person, most likely. What does changing mean? What do you mean changing? Hey, Delta Fire, dude, it's like minus 15. Well, no, earlier this morning it was like minus 30 or something, but it was blowing snow and shit on the roof. The higher you are, it's blowing, and like I said, that's what screwed over my work, was the blowing snow essentially going over your work. It depends, Battle for Canada. When it's the winter time, sometimes I can work 50 hours in a week, sometimes 30, sometimes less, so I've only been on EI once, but you get, if you work 2 days, you don't get it anyways. So you're like, you get kind of screwed over. You don't even get it the majority of the time. And then somebody screwed it up for me one time anyway, so I ended up owing them $500. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But yeah, usually I get to work in the wintertime. As long as it's not snowing, and if it's not actually snowing and maybe blowing snow, then I can work, right? Just pretty much like in the summertime. If it's raining, you can't really work that much. I can kind of work sometimes in the rain because I do leaks. So at the very least, I can still get some work. So that's not too bad. Anthony Arnold, how's it going, man? Greetings from Edmonton. Whereabouts in Canada are you? I'm from Winnipeg. Hello, Tara. How's it going? Jimmy Kimmel clips and about to move on to Third Eye Open for sure. Hey, hello, Anthony. Hey, Faye, how's it going? Snowing and blowing snow in Cornwall. Yeah, it's really windy right now. Like, what do they always say? A change in Canada. Is it supposed to mean that we are relics of the past that are meant to die out? Yeah, pretty much, Martin. That's what it means. They're like, hey, you better. It just means we're being replaced. In other words, it's saying, hey, the old stock Canadians are being replaced, and they're mad about being replaced. And this is their dying, bigoted cry of anger that they're having because it's no longer the place that they remember. It's like, and they just like consider that funny almost, it seems like, to them. And you're like, you would be, if this was happening to any other country, if it was like India and all these people were coming in and taking their culture and replacing it, I think they would write about it a little bit differently. But you're the kind of guy that I try to date and then I try to change your mind. Well, honestly, Tara, it would be the opposite. You would your mind would be changed as opposed to you changing my mind. And usually the goo pretends to be the left wing. Winter of discontent. And if he's posting, try to make your comment into one full paragraph if possible, just because it kind of like fills up the chat. But my ex. But I want to show you guys the story first, also from CP24. So let me share this. One sec. So this is, proof, I guess, of the events. So police are investigating after a cenotaph at Old City Hall was vandalized just one day after Remembrance Day. Writing was spray painted on a cenotaph sometimes this morning that reads, "Ye broke faith with us." Oh, fuck. I almost drank soy sauce because I had fucking soy sauce on my thing. And then I got a whiff of it and I was like, that smells pretty salty. That's why you got to use your nose, right? Otherwise you'll be fucked. God damn it. Okay, but I'm gonna make that mistake again. I guarantee it. Writing that was spray painted on the wall. The words appear to reference the line, "If ye break faith with us who die," from John McCrae's poem in Flanders Field. So, what was the point of putting that quote on there? Who are we forgetting? They're probably referencing the dead immigrants. So they're like, oh, the dead Sikhs who fought in the war. This is for them. And this will get these racist jingoists back. This will show the bigots like Don Cherry, who's bossed by defacing memorials for veterans who died for your rights. It is not clear exactly when the cenotaph was defaced, but is reported to police at around 7 a.m. So the incident comes less than 24 hours after thousands gathered at the cenotaph for the Remembrance Day ceremony to honor our country's veterans. Mayor John Tory called the vandals' behavior completely unacceptable. So he came and said something. Doug Ford came and said something. Andrea Horwath said something because, it's their city, it's their province. So they got to, but, I said, like I said, I've yet to see Trudeau or anybody else mention it, which we know they would be mentioning. Anything else that was like, oh, it's this woman, this girl had her hijab pulled off. And everybody needs to condemn it before we even find out she's lying or not. which was the case. But this, like I said, there's clear proof, there's evidence, there's no way that anybody could lie about this. Oh, it's not spray paint, it's actually chalk. Oh, see, this is fake news. It's not fake news. But whatever. I got a couple tweets I want to show from a couple people that I saw commenting under the tweet as well, or the article, because I always do that. I always like to look underneath to see what people are saying and to see what the general mindset of the people are in the discussion or whatever, right? But let me check out the chat a little bit more here. Hey, Zeus, we are the dead. Okay, I read that one. Hey, Matthew, how's it going, man? Yeah, I haven't seen you in a little while, buddy. Thanks for joining. I never read BuzzFeed. Who or what would do that to a cenotaph? Yeah, probably an Antifa. Like I said, as an Antifa person, the hijab hoax was fake news. Very much a hoax. Yeah, exactly, right? It was fake news. Hey, Justin, how's it going, man? Hey, Marshall. I think, in my humble opinion, it might be directed to the political elite that don't have what the vets are asking for. Vandalism is wrong, especially for something like this. But I don't think it was like that thought out. I don't think they were like, oh, this is against the people who mistreat vets. If you really cared about the vets, how about you buy a fucking poppy? Do you really have to deface a fucking monument that is honoring them? It's like, no. It's like, oh, I saw some people saying something similar. I'm not saying you're exactly saying that, but I don't think so. I really don't. Just some retards. I'm just waiting until they come up this way. Boy, are they in for a shock. Hey, Chad, how's it going, man? They who? Here, John Keating. But let's see some tweets from a couple people that I don't understand. There's this whataboutism that some people are bringing up. This one guy here, and I looked at their Twitter account, and they're just a massive leftist that just constantly talks about police brutality. And I'm not saying police brutality isn't an issue, because I'm not necessarily for the police either. I'm not all pro-police because they're just a part of the state. A lot of the times, they're just tax collectors. They take your money, and they give it to the government. They just give you tickets for speeding over the speed limit by 5 fucking miles an hour or kilometers, whatever the fuck you want to say. They do abuse their power a lot. So, fuck the police, to be honest. But, this person, she's like, or he, I have a feeling it's a she. Unfortunately, this isn't something new. If you Google it, you'll see many instances of graffiti on war monuments all over the place. Racist graffiti after Canada Day, swastikas on home of people of color. Okay, those were probably all fake. The swastikas were probably graffitied by those people themselves. Just like in Winnipeg, there was a Jewish couple who faked a hate crime on themselves and vandalized their own establishment and said, oh, and put a bunch of Nazi swastikas with spray paint all over the place. But guess what? They did it to themselves. Because I forget the reasoning behind it, but it was a lie. And then people, oh, just because that happens doesn't mean that there are no racist things. Okay, but there are a lot of fake ones too, so don't get mad at me if I don't believe you when you say shit. Racist graffiti after Canada Day, swastikas on home of people of color. As sad as I am to see this today, these things have been happening a long, long time. So why do you even say this comment? What's the point? But I know you're mad about this, but this has been going on a long time. So just so you know, because you shouldn't be that mad, because are you mad when black people have swastikas spray painted on their houses? When does that happen? That doesn't happen. Shut the fuck up, okay? That does not happen. Especially in Canada. Go suck a dick. get out of here. There's another. She has another comment that I want to highlight, and then there's another retard that commented below it as well. That's probably an Antifa supporter, most likely. But see, this is another tweet from this retard. So the person said, Debbie said, small-minded mob mentality who are easily offended of the you people. I support Don Cherry. So, based Asian. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. And then this retard, I don't know who this person is. Maybe they're a paid troll or a bot or something, or they're a bot, not a bot, but there's a lot of propaganda on Twitter. There's a lot of people that are, I'm pretty sure, paid to promote narratives, agendas, to go into people's feeds and argue with them and promote talking points. But so are we to assume that all previous graffiti on monuments and home is due to the debate over Don Cherry? This is sadly something that happens often and has happened for years. It's not right at all, but scapegoating is not the answer. Like, what? Are you retarded? Is this person retarded? Scapegoating what? Who? Not scapegoating the people who are easily offended by you people. It's probably who did it. But nonetheless, you just get retards like this. Here, I got one more tweet that I want to show of underneath this article that I want to highlight as well by, what is this guy's name? Blake Hill. So, and it's just what this is, gets the award of probably one of the dumbest tweets of 2019, at the very least. Blake Hill. It's funny how many think veterans died for, in quotes, freedom, essentially implying that they didn't, but get right pissed when someone exercises that freedom towards something they claim to cherish. So they don't actually cherish that. They're just claiming it. This is the mind reading that leftists do to people on the right and stuff. It's like, oh, you don't actually believe that. You're just saying that because you hate people. You don't believe in small government. You just hate poor people. You don't want a working healthcare system. You just don't want poor people to be healthy. You fucking bastard. I know what you're thinking. I know what you believe in reality. I know what's going on in your head. That freedom towards something they claim to cherish. You obviously have no idea why those people fought and died, and you most likely never will. So it's like, the veterans didn't die so you could vandalize monuments, which is a crime. Vandalism is a crime. It's a crime. That's not freedom of speech. Vandalizing property is not freedom of speech. Da, 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 da. But get right pissed when someone exercises that freedom towards something they claim to cherish. They're exercising their freedom by spray painting memorials or cenotaphs or whatever. Fuck off, you piece of shit. Like, you're just dumb. 4 likes. Whoever liked this, needs to get their head checked. That's for sure. But, I got a bunch more tweets and stuff to do with Don Cherry and stuff, because this is going to go on for a few days, and it's hilarious, right? It's good that it happened to Don Cherry in the sense that he's old and he has nothing really to lose. He has a lot of money, and we need people to take a stand on issues like this and say, no, I'm not going to apologize, because it will work out for us. Like, man, I went to work today and a lot of people were pretty pissed off at what happened to Don Cherry. A lot of people that I know that are not very political at all. And they're like, what the fuck? Don Cherry was fired for what he said? That's bullshit. A lot of Canadians are mad. And what was that Gillette commercial? They came out, they alienated a huge percentage of their group, of their audience, And then now they're losing billions of dollars or losing tons of money, Gillette, because of stupid ads like that. And getting rid of Don Cherry when it comes to hockey fans is not going to be a good idea. I don't think. I think it's going to backfire, and they're probably going to have to rehire him, right? And him staying firm, not apologizing, is the right thing, because they're probably going to have to rehire him because the ratings are going to start to plummet and all this shit. I already see there's a couple people in some tweets. They need to replace him with a person of color, a woman of color, and an indigenous lady or indigenous person, blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh my God, of course, these people already start with this shit. But let me check out the chat for a second. Hey, Sinako, how's it going, man? Don Cherry is a patriot, and I am ashamed of those who are disrespecting our vets. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Don Cherry, he doesn't have to worry about a pension. His name is worth far more than Dome Gay little pension from sport. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, he's worth a lot of money. It's great, you know, the conversation. It's going to expose. You know, what's going to do. It's going to expose a lot of people to the lies and deception of the media, because you see them pumping out all of these pieces about Don Cherry and how he's such a piece of shit and how great. Oh, we're so happy. You know, I saw Rosemary Barton. I have a tweet to show of her where she's like, excellent piece written about Don Cherry. And it's pretty much like, Don Cherry is a piece of shit. And we need to go because he's a racist fucker and blah. The time is due for him to go. You know, all these people who have been silent for so long because he's been working now have the ability to come out and say how much they hate the guy and how horrible he is and how he represents a dying class of Canada and Canadian, and how you know, this is a great thing that is happening, blah blah blah. But no, it's just going to expose all of them, and all the people that like Don Cherry, they're going to read this and be like, oh, fuck the mainstream, fuck CBC, you know, fuck these people. Don Cherry's awesome. You know, the only people who are mad about what Don Cherry said are people who don't watch hockey to begin with, who heard about it, who heard about this thing from the media and stuff. But the majority of hockey people are like, yeah. Most people, like I said at work today, agreed with what he said. Said that he made a lot of sense. I was shocked that the Legion threw. Yeah, exactly. The Legion came out and said like, oh, you know, we don't support the racist thing that he said, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, shut up, man. When did I lose my French accent? Well, I don't know. I have no idea, man. I've been living in fucking Manitoba for a while. Or I mean Winnipeg, and the first language I could speak was French, and that's the only language I knew how to speak until I was a few years old, or 4 or 5, and then I started speaking more English and stuff, right? But I don't think I ever really had an accent. I don't think I've ever had an accent. Leftists and Marxists are anti-white and anti-Canadian. Yes, they are. The fact that blackface Trudeau is still in office shows where we are at as a country. Yeah, exactly. Right. You know, it's, you see the how they're going after this guy for the thing he said. He just said, you people. That's it. He just said, you people, and they're losing their minds. They're losing their minds. But here, I got a bunch of tweets that I want to kind of show from a lot of these anti-white racists that are pointing out, oh, well, how come it's just white people retweeting this? And, you know, you look at their last names and you're like Sterling, Stein, Adler. You know, whenever you see a name end with ER, look it up. Just so you know. I'm not saying this guy's name ends with ER, but I'm just saying something I've noticed. It ends with ER, look it up. And I think Stein, all that shit is pretty self-explanatory, and you know, I'm just making observations here. How come it's only white people with the hashtag I stand with Don Cherry, boycott Sportsnet, or boycotts Rogers? Seems pretty coincidental. No. Everyone keeps saying he was fired for standing up for vets, but They keep forgetting that line, enjoying our milk and honey, referring to So yeah, he's shitting on white people and being like, guess what? It's only white people. Why is it only white people support it? It kind of supports what we're saying, that he's a racist and he's picking on minorities, blah blah blah. Shut up, man. Just stay out of the conversation. Also, I am an immigrant enjoying Canada's milk and honey, and I am eternally grateful for it. I do my best to give back and be a good Canadian because Canada gave me a life my birth country couldn't. So, well, thank you, Scarlett. I'm glad you are at least appreciative, but a lot of people aren't. And we need to point that shit out. It needs to be pointed out. It can't be swept under the rug. Who gives a fuck if people think we're racist? I don't give a fuck, okay? Like, you know what? Just like me, my brother, he was complaining about this today, how on Remembrance Day, there was a lot of stores that were still open, until 1 or before 1. And you know what? A lot of them tend to be ethnic places. Like there's this one guy, Bharat Food Store in Winnipeg here, and he was open during our other holidays too. And he's like, but I don't want to close down because I'm not Christian and all this crap. It's like, no, you fucking close down. You respect our culture and you respect our country and you respect the people that live in this country, and you close down your fucking store for our goddamn holidays. If we did the same in your country, we would be beheaded or something. I'll go to your Muslim country and then I'll fuck your Ramadan and fuck your whatever. They'll throw me in jail. I'll be killed or some shit. But people come here and they'll still be open on Remembrance Day, on this. It's like, respect the people and their culture of which the country you're entering in. And I'm not racist to point that out. This guy, he got a couple fines, I think, because he was open on not Remembrance Day, which he was as well, but some other day, and he got a fine. He's all complaining about it. This is racist, discriminatory because I'm ethnic food and all this stuff. It's like, what if people need to buy milk and eggs and honey? It's like, well, sorry, man. Tough luck. You're going to have to starve for a fucking day. Sorry. I don't care. Maybe you should have thought about that, But it just angers me, people should respect the culture and the country that they're entering. Yeah, exactly. The thing is like, yeah, they think we are racist, notorious. Like they do think we're racist, but they still want our shit. They still want the rights, the freedoms, the ability to do what they want, to own businesses, to all this shit that they don't have in their own country, that their countries oftentimes don't allow them to do. But then, they come here and they complain. And it's just a tactic. This whole racist thing it's used against us to get power. Look at Don Cherry thing, right? Like I said, there's a bunch of people. Here's a tweet. Already trying to use this to usher in some other people who are not white males into the position. New commenter should be female person of color. Rab Newall. Get the fuck out of here, Rab Newall. Like, leave. That's all I have to say. Okay, here's another piece of crap right here. Another piece of shit. Diversity just means less white people. That's all it means. It means less white people. Get that through your head. It means nothing else than less white people. After they keeping his enabler, McLean, he got to go too. I've got an idea. Bring on 2 knowledgeable people to talk about hockey. How about an Indigenous former NHL coach and a decorated Olympian? How about Ted Nolan and Haley Wickenheiser for starters? Wickenheiser. Heiser. E-R, right? E-R. I wonder where this person originates from or what their cultural background is. Media, writer, teacher, broadcaster, commentator. Shut the fuck up. Go away. We don't need your stupid opinions and your stupid comments. But that's what it is. This cry of racism is just to replace Canadians. Old stock Canadians. Just like the Me Too thing. Hashtag Me Too. Oh, women. We need more women in this position. We need more women in this position because otherwise men are going to be sexually assaulting us all the time. Like, we need more women directors and more women this. And like, shut up. Shut up. We don't need more women this and more women that. We need more of these women to shut the fuck up and go in the kitchen and cook me a sandwich or make me a sandwich and cook me, I don't know, some eggs and bacon and shit like that. Right? Like, Jesus Christ. those women, you don't need their opinion, right? Everybody gets offended so easily now. I agree. Hey, Derek, how's it going, buddy? If you want to hop on the stream, let me know, man. You're welcome. Welcome on if you want. They always got to fill the minority quota, women, black, check, indigenous, check, blah, blah, blah. Everybody hit the like, subscribe button while you're here, all that good stuff. I'm going to give out my Discord link again. So if anybody wants to join the Discord, go there, join it. One sec here. I always got to change the link and set it to never expire. And I don't know why it does that. It really bothers me, but you got to do for cunt's sakes. Did I just, one sec here. One sec. Let me redo that. Generate new link, copy. So yeah, if anybody wants to join it, put the link in the description below. How did you vote back? I voted green election. How does government legally change your entire population without asking anyone? It's quite remarkable, actually. Blows my mind. Ancestors built all this to give it to the third world. Yeah, exactly, right? They always got to fill the minority quota. Women check, indigenous check. Oh, we need a black person, a couple of brown ones. Right. Yeah, it's minority quotas, but what it does is just replace white people in general, right? And a lot of things too is like what people got to distinguish too is between white people and Jewish people, because that's a huge distinction that needs to be had a lot of the times, because that will change the numbers and what we see a lot in terms of representation in different fields and whatnot, and people need to make those distinctions because they make these distinctions all the time. So we may as well make them too. Jesse Brown, here's another tweet from some more people talking about this crap. Jesse Brown. See, it's all the same vein. It's all the same line that they're using. The reason why some people are so upset about Don Cherry is not because they love his commentary or him, or even that they agree with him so much. It's because they fear that this signals the end of something for them, that they're now on shakier ground. They are. And if somebody's like, the end of freedom of speech, yes, absolutely, we fear that. And on this, of all days, we certainly should. But what this girl should really be worried about is it's not freedom of speech that they're after. Yes, they are after freedom of speech, but they're trying to replace white people, man. This is what he's saying, because they fear that this signals the end of something for them, that they're now on shakier ground. They are on shakier ground because progress, guys, progress. We're in the stage of progress, and what progress means is essentially what diversity means: less white people, getting rid of these racist white people with their opinions that we don't like, replacing them with Jews and women and people of color and whatever, and then they're gonna be the correct people in there with the correct skin color. It's just racism. It's anti-white racism. This whole response to Don Cherry is anti-white racism. because they fear that this signals the end of something. You know, I've seen this same sort of quote just, you know, structured differently from a lot of different people. A lot of different people on the left being like, "Oh, you know, you're just mad about being replaced." You know, that's pretty much what they're essentially saying. I've always enjoyed DC. Let me check out. Is Ivanka Trump not white though? Well, her husband is Jewish. Her husband isn't white. You know, the only Jew that I kind of like, or not, I'm joking. I like plenty of Jewish people. I don't mind Steve Miller, to be honest, man. He's actually pretty good when it comes to, like, he wants to like reduce a lot of immigration from what it appears like, and he's, you know, maybe not. Doesn't matter. He's a Jew. Jewish people don't consider themselves white, so doesn't matter how Aryan he looks. And that what the hell does Aryan mean? I'm not Aryan. I'm fucking white. I'm European. I am I don't know, French. White people are colonizers. I guess they don't know history. AJ, it's affirmative action. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I voted PPC and it seemed like they got 0 votes. Well, they got 330,000. Maybe later, AJ, got to eat, feed the animals. All good, man. That's like saying that a trans dude doesn't consider himself male. Defending trans? Who's defending trans? I don't know. You're not making any sense, Tara. I'm part 6th generation Canadian and part inbred English. Yeah, well, fuck the English. Fuck the English. It's not Canada that sucks. It's the people. Got to go later, dudes and dudettes. Thank you, Sapo. Have a good day, man. AJ Need cannot be trusted and have proven this time and time again. Do it at your own peril. What fight? I don't know what you're talking. You're confusing the fuck out of me, Tara. So if that's what winning the fight is, then yes, you won. You beat me. I'm confused as shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I voted PPC and I'll do it again. Calling me names is a badge of honor. Yeah, exactly. You know, a lot of people will shit on you for, you know, voting for a party that supported your principles and your values. And you're like, oh, you split the vote. You're this. Oh, you're stupid for whatever reason. It's like, whatever, man. I don't care. Think of me what you will. You know, it makes absolutely no difference. AJ has an addiction to Jews and boomers. Point fire, like, just go away, man. Nobody cares about you, okay? Like, go away. You see these people, like, you know what? I don't like calling people, like, who watch my channel fans, right? I think most people are just other Canadians that like some of the content that I put out there and they watch my content, right? But, like, Point Fire is a fan. You know what I mean? Fans are people who just lose it when you don't like them as much anymore, right? You know, it's like Point Fire would be the guy who went to go get an autograph from like a celebrity, and then a celebrity's like, "Hey man, I'm fucking eating dinner. Can you go away, please?" And he's like, "Oh, you know what? Fuck that guy. I loved all his movies before, but he's a piece of shit. I hate that guy, and I'm gonna troll him and follow him around for the rest of his life and be angry because he treated me badly. And I loved the guy. I loved him. I loved his movies." This is what happens. See, I get Point Fire. I have a bunch of other old trolls. The trolls I have are like 60 years old. It's hilarious. Like I have like 60-year-old trolls like attacking me. Oh, you like bubble wrap? You like bubble wrap and all this crap? Millennials are shit. But it's like, man, like, dude, like, please. I know you're obsessed with me, man. I know you're gonna come around my channel for the next however many years. Who knows? And like leave a little comment. It's gonna continue for a while, but whatever. Wrong, I'm 56. Yeah, fuck you. Oh my god. So he's got like these funny insults. Oh, you want some tissues? Oh man, all right, man. Whatever. Point fire. You're welcome. You're welcome to stick around and enjoy my content and stuff, just like you used to until you disliked me for some reason. I guess I said something that angered you one day, but who the fuck knows, man? I don't know. People that you like my stuff, you don't like. You like what I say, you don't like what I say. Stay or leave. I really don't give a shit. Should I destroy the pics of the clown dwarf woman, AJ? It's getting old. And I don't want to fight boomers and old people. And like, I love old people. I love my dad. I love my grandfather who's dead, who was a war veteran, who's not a boomer, but my dad is. My fucking mom practically. No, she's not quite. I think she's late Generation X. I don't know. But, it's stupid. Okay. Like, can we move on with this thing? I don't want some intergenerational war between people. It's like I respect a lot of people that are various ages and the contributions that they've made to society and stuff. And it's ridiculous to be fighting over stupid shit, right? I don't know why the guy turned on me. I think it was like after the election, and all of a sudden I'm like a bad guy. I'm like, what the hell did I do? There's a bunch of people that randomly turned off me. And I'm like, what the hell did I do to you? Right? See, that's what I'm saying. Whatever. Go on, man, with your shit. But why do you keep hiding your Syrian slaves? Well, because I could be put in jail for this. Do you want me to be put in jail? I don't want to be, it's a crime. You understand that enslaving people is a crime. And if I were to show you like what I do to them on a daily basis, I would be put in jail. And then, it'd be your fault because you're trying to instigate me to get me to show you, because people, they'll see the bruises, they'll see the marks and stuff. They'll be like, whoa, what the hell? The fat lips, etc. So you're not going to be able to see them. Okay. I'm not going to allow you. It's not okay. Maybe one day, if you come to my house personally, I'll let you in and I'll give you a tour, and then you can have your go and you could have your fun. But other than that, there's no showing. No showing that shit, man. Can't do it. Slavery is legal in North Africa. Well, we're not in North Africa. Okay. Slavery is legal in North Africa. I don't respect for some old cunts I have been reading for the Frontier for Patriotism, Alberta, and the First World War. Winnipeg was only 60% white in 2016. Give it 10 years and white people will be a minority there too. I agree with you. There's no disagreement here. I don't think it was 60% white though. I don't think those numbers are accurate. To be honest, but I wouldn't be surprised if they are. I remember seeing different numbers, but who knows? Can you see bruises on your slaves? You need darker ones. Well, man, I punch pretty fucking hard, man. You'll see the slaves. You'll see, the bruises. Don't worry. I've noticed that these old people you're referring to are from the generation that were fed post-war propaganda and peace and love harmony. They lash the hell out when you speak the truth. Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm not trying to say, I'm not trying to make a generational thing and be like, this generation is shit because blah, blah, blah. Because, I hear that all the time as a millennial. It's like, whatever. I don't get offended really by it. But, whatever. A lot of the problems we face are from individuals in society that have pushed propaganda and lies on people. And it's not only that. I'm not going to take away people's autonomy as well. It's true that, it's not like people were stupid and didn't know what socialism was before they started introducing a lot of socialism and stuff. But whatever, people chose not to really pay much attention to it. But whatever, what's in the past is in the past. What happened has happened. All that we can do is move forward and look for solutions instead of looking to blame each other for this reason. Oh, you voted for Trudeau. You ruined the country. You did this. You did this. You voted for the 1970 Immigration Act or 60-some Immigration Act. You ruined the country. Whatever. It happened. You know, what can we do to solve this situation or fix the problem? Or at least make it better, right? I'll try to take better of my low bid invaders. Thanks for the tip, Point Fire. Earth is flat. No, it isn't. The Earth is not flat. No, it's not. It's not flat. Don't give me that. But here's a couple more tweets I want to share with you guys. This is, I don't know if you've seen this person before on Twitter. I can't pronounce your name. You know, this is what's wrong with multiculturalism. You know, you get people in your country, journalists apparently, with names like Slashi, Slashi, Skachi, 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 Skashi. Okay, it's Skashi. I'm gonna call her Skashi. Cancel culture is alive. Just look at Don Cherry! Exclamation mark. You have the same job for 629 years and one day, and you say something racist after 629 years of saying racist things, and poof, you're out of work. And she's like, she got a lot of flack for this, and she shits on white people after in her next tweet I'll show you. 13,000 likes, and you look at all these retards below. Well, this guy's better. He's actually from BuzzFeed, and he's like, it's sad that liberals aren't willing to challenge him in the marketplace of ideas. I'm like, well, finally, a fucking liberal with some brains here, but only 33 upvotes. Everything else got way more. I'm an absolute disgust. The mainstream media has silenced an important voice in the racist community. But look, you see all these blue check marks. Yeah, Scotchy. And what's some? There's more blue check marks below that are like, yeah, this is so right. Or no, Jane, this is a joke. But see, all these tweets are unavailable. See, this is the thing. You can never ever see these responses because these liberals, they either delete the tweets or they hide them so you can't see it. But this is her one tweet, and then she responded to that afterwards with this here. And she shits on white people, or she's like, oh, white people, you can't understand sarcasm. Like, I regret tweeting anything about Don Cherry because now my mentions are full of white people actually ing me because they don't know how sarcasm works. I regret it. I regret every choice I have made since the sun rose this morning. No, you did a good job. He's a ghoul. Blah, blah, blah. So white people, white people don't understand sarcasm. You know what? See, that's what I'm saying. So Don Cherry can't even say you people because they're like, oh, he's clearly talking about brown people. Clearly talking about them. But you say, like, oh, white people this, white people that. Whereas if let's replace it with black here or Jew. Let's do that. I regret tweeting anything about Don Cherry because now my mentions are full of black people actually me because they don't know how sarcasm works. Fuck, those black people. You know, people, they would look at that a lot differently. We know they would. Now, I don't really have a problem with somebody saying, oh, these white people are this and that. That is your freedom of speech. But you know damn well that if you change the fucking thing to black, to Jew, to this, to that, you're going to be people like, oh, complaining and being like, this is racism and oh, blah, 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 blah. But whatever, right? This is society we live in. You know, you can say and do whatever you want against white people and you can get away with it. And if they say anything about it, they complain about their replacement. They complain about the gaslighting that is going on. You're a racist. This is Charles Adler. Adler, another chosen person, right, from the chosen lands, which is bullshit because I'm not even a religious at all. So fuck your chosen lands. I don't give a shit. That's the stupidest thing, stupidest idea ever, right? You know, it makes me think sometimes that like Christianity or some of it was just devised to make sure Jewish people have a homeland, and that all the Christians, they're like, well, we're not the chosen people, but we'll make sure we fight and die to make sure that they have a chosen people. That's pretty much like the evangelicals in America. They're like just the troops for Israel or something, right? But this guy, one of his tweets, he's talking about white people this, white people that, and now he's like, the most painful words I heard as an immigrant child were "you people." Charles Adler tonight. Shut up, really? Like, oh my God, you people. Like, oh, and I cried and I cried and I cried myself to sleep. You know what, man? Your parents probably came here voluntarily, or you're like a fake refugee or something. We didn't need to take you in. Shut the fuck up. Have respect for the people that live here. Have respect for patriots like Don Cherry. And enough with this divisive rhetoric, race baiting bullshit. Now they're making this all about, you people, and how many immigrants served in the war. How could Don Cherry say it was only white people who fought in the war? That's not what he said, but this is what they're doing. They're making it about this. There's a tweet from Candace Malcolm that kind of assesses the situation pretty well, and I was like, that's a good tweet, because I'll show it after this video though. Let's play it. So you're gonna laugh at this one for sure. Oh, the sob story, and the worst thing you could say is "you people."
I know that over the years you've listened to many.
For fuck's sakes. Let me refresh this, because I listened to it once already, and fucking you know how fucking Twitter works, right? It's a good boy and this and that. All right. Let's see what your dumbass has to say.
Chance you'll be hearing this podcast.
Sounds like he's gonna cry.
I know that over the years you've listened to many of my shows. I appreciate the loyalty. But I've got to speak truth here. You speak your truth, and I honestly believe you believe what you believe, and it's your truth, and I have to speak mine. You people are the most painful words in the English language for this person. I was 8 years old, and it happened to be a person who lived in our house. We had a little duplex.
Can you guys hear it all right? Let me check the chat here. One sec. Everybody can hear it okay? Anyone catch the interview on Rebel? AJ is a boomer with his tech skills. I am a boomer with my tech skills. I gotta admit that. Wash, way poor me, Wash. All right, let's play this. Okay, I think you guys can hear it. Sounds good. Could be louder. Yeah, I don't know. It's the video itself is really low. I don't know why. I have my thing like cranked up to the tits, so should be.
We lived upstairs, and they live downstairs. I don't even want to mention their name, because they've got kids and grandkids, and they may hear this, and I don't want to shame their name. But the man of the house, as it was known back then, was not happy with the fridge. And my dad...
This guy's a propagandist. So, just listen to his voice and the cadence and stuff. And, he's an actor.
He owned the house, and so he owned the appliances, and he asked my dad...
Except he's too fucking ugly to be an actor on TV, so he does it on the radio.
For a new fridge. He told the man that he'd want to replace the fridge as possible, but it would have to be a used fridge, because we couldn't afford a new anything. We couldn't afford new clothes.
Wait, how old are you? You're pretty fucking old. I'm pretty sure having a fridge when you were a kid was probably a luxury or something, right? That other people probably didn't even have.
So he turned on my dad. I was there. I was 8, but I can't forget it. He turned on my dad, and he said Hitler should have finished the job with you people.
Oh my God. Oh, everything is referenced to fucking the Holocaust, everything. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? You know what this reminds me of? Hitler and the Holocaust and my parents and gas chambers. You know, that's what this reminds me of. What? What? How does a fucking person telling new Canadians, foreigners, to respect our history, respect our veterans, how does it get turned into this? How does it get turned into, but the Holocaust and my ancestors died, and somebody who didn't sell me a fridge told me that you people should have died? That probably never happened. You probably just made that up right now. Or if he did say that, it's probably because you guys were shysting him or being shysty and all this crap. And then you're like, whoa, why would you say that? Well, you're probably stealing from the guy or something. You're not telling the whole fucking story. Does Hector trigger BT gas stoves? You need to rally the wealthy Jews to fund socially liberal lobbying orgs. Hey, this guy tries so hard. I almost thought at first it was an alt-right meme until I realized he was serious. Yeah, he's an actor. Violin playing in the background. Exactly, right? Hey, BC Barbie, how's it going? Oh my God, Point Fire just can't help himself. Can't help himself. All right, he's gonna keep going forever. But that's the fans for you, man. That's a fan for you. It's somebody who can't get enough of you, and it will follow you around, and it won't leave you alone. Watch this guy. He's gonna be on my tail for a while. I'm gonna be living in this guy's head for the next few months at the very least. Yeah, I think so, my nugs. It's getting kind of creepy. I'm starting to worry late at night. I make sure to lock my door because I'm like, who the fuck knows? Some people, they're really good with computers. They know how to find your address, figure out where you live. And I'm like, okay, this guy clearly has some obsession with me. So, it's always good to be careful, right? Good to be careful. If I had 5,000 followers, I'd be organizing. Well, do you think all these people actually follow me? No. Some people come in, some people leave. My videos will get 500 views, 600 views. So clearly, people follow and then they don't ever watch any of your stuff ever again. Or people, they forget about you, or they just don't care anymore, or whatever. They're still sub to you. So, not a good representation. It's not like I can get together 5,000 people and shit. But nonetheless, yeah, I agree with you though as well that organizing is good. We need to start organizing things. I just like listening to your opinions, man. Oh, thank you, Grant. Toronto is upset someone called them out about not supporting vets and calls them racist while simultaneously calling police to get a man off the sidewalk over the highway of heroes for holding the flag. That's fucked up, man. I didn't even hear about that yet. In this day and age and technology, the information, there is no excuse for stupidity, though it's rampant. Yeah, it's true, but at the same time, there's almost too much information at times, right? It's like the correct information is out there, but it is difficult sometimes to figure out what is real, right? You got, like, just today I was looking on Twitter and I see this economist that's like clearly a left-wing economist saying, well, see, this is why Quebec can do all this stuff and Alberta can't do all this stuff because this and that reason and this and that reason, right? So, to the layman person, they're going to look at that stuff and be like, oh, well, this economist guy, sounds pretty smart. He sounds like he's breaking apart the numbers. He must be telling the truth, about the economy, about this and about these numbers. There's so much information. Yeah, but yes, there is no excuse at the same time. If you're really curious and you really want to discover the truth, and you keep looking, you will discover a lot of it. Because if you're doing it biasly and you're just looking at the Young Turks and CNN and trying to discover truth that way, then you're always just going to get that one perspective. But if you do have the curiosity to at least entertain different perspectives and try not to be completely biased and look at everything honestly, then you can come to the correct conclusions, right? Or what I believe are the correct conclusions. Maybe I'm wrong about everything. Maybe what I believe is stupid and what liberals believe is all right. I don't think so, but maybe maybe I'm missing something. I don't think so. Let me see here though. Nail guns. Yeah, I love the dynamic between AJ raging and Rants Derek. Well, thank you, Alan. I appreciate that. Yeah, I like going on his channel. It's fun. A francophone accusing an anglophone of being an elitist. Keep it real, AJ. Are you still caught up over me calling you an elitist when you were shitting on me for being a roofer? And so no, what French people are elitist? Do you know the history of French people in Canada and stuff, right? That they weren't all like elitist, man. You don't know my fucking history, my culture, my fucking ancestors. None of them were elitist. Like that's the most ignorant statement you can make. But dude, the only one who has proven themselves to be an elitist is somebody shitting on somebody like me who uses my two hands to make a living. Somebody who does roofing, who you're shitting on somebody who does roofing. You're like, go build a roof or something. You're like, come on, man. Like, I thought you were a leftist. I thought you didn't do that type of stuff. I thought you were better than that. I guess not. But keep exposing yourself, man. Like I'm saying, don't keep exposing you, because I will jump on it and I'll make you look really stupid each and every time. But continue if you want. It's up to you. It's up to you, man. Follow the Bible, God our leader. Leave with chat you came with. Leave with what you came with. Okay. Arm up. The invaders are there. Okay. I gotta be careful what I read. I believe that your moral compass will guide your decisions. That is why the left supports Antifa and socialism. Yeah. If we had a really objective truth and reality, then, a lot of this stuff would not work on people. Okay. All right. Point fire. Keep. He's got all these things that he's mad at me about, or he's got, all right, he's probably got a chart of written things that I can argue to AJ about. What is my parental advice? Stay together. I don't think you need to have kids in order to tell people, hey, maybe you should stay together and it'll be good for your children. There are plenty of statistics that you can look that show that single parent households are not good for children. But I guess that's parenting advice. As I'm saying, you better shut up because you're making yourself look stupid. Stop making yourself look stupid. You know what I mean? Like, what's my parental advice? Hey, parents should stick together. They shouldn't divorce. Mothers should stay home and father should work and shit. Don't beat your kids. Okay. Nuclear family. Yeah, I guess don't take that advice. Point fire. You fool. You fool. But everybody hit the like, share button, subscribe. I know Point Fire didn't. He's probably the one who gave me that dislike right now because he's a fan. He's a fan and he likes watching my stuff. And now he's pissed that I no longer, or I don't know why he's pissed. Like I said, the guy turned on me for some random reason. Maybe I insulted. I think I kicked his dog maybe at some point. I might have kicked your dog. But everybody join the Discord if you haven't already. I just put the link in the chat below. But let me see what else I have on in the for you guys today. I have a few other tweets and a couple other articles from this motherfucker. Let me see here. So this is Don Cherry. So here's from Frank Graves. Here's another tweet from Frank Graves. Let's see here. The cultural backlash, the desire to turn back the clock, pull up the drawbridge, seek some apocryphal era. Apocryphal? I don't even know how to say that. Make fun of me all you want, point fire. I know it's coming. Era where things were purer, more secure. This populist reflex is the death rattle of an old era that is slipping away, but the force behind this is by no means spent. So what is he essentially getting at with that tweet? You know, he's saying, Don Cherry is mad that he's no longer the majority in his country, but these racists are still everywhere, and we need to be vigilant, because by no means but the force behind this is by no means spent, guys. Be ready for the backlash from the right, the violent Nazi white supremacist right. And that's what Don Cherry is really mad at. Just some whatever word era where things were purer, in quotes, more secure, which they were more secure. Why do you think white flight exists? Why does Frank Graves live with probably mostly white people? Why does Obama and Michelle Obama live with mostly white people? Even though I remember seeing about a month ago, she's like, you know what, you white people, you keep running from us. And, you white people keep running. Well, where do you live, Michelle Obama? I'm pretty sure where you live, it's 90% white. So, these people, they live around more white people because they know it's more secure. And diversity brings violence. Diversity means less white people, more violence, more tribal warfare, more accusations of racism, more socialism, less free speech, because you cannot say anything without offending people. You can't even say you people anymore, or you're going to lose your job, even though you're a fucking Canadian icon who's been, a part of the Canadian culture for years. He was chosen as number 7 as of the greatest Canadians in history. And this just rattles the left. They hate it. They hate that. They want the people that like Don Cherry all to die. They want them all to die. They want you to be destitute, broke, dead, poor, broke, made to look stupid, etc. Right? They want all those Canadians to be gone from Canada, or maybe enough of them so they can use them as wage slaves to pay for the taxes and all this other shit. But that's about it. They'll keep the stupid leftists as slaves and wage slaves, and they'll get rid of everybody else. But this piece of shit, the cultural backlash. Go suck a dick, Frank Graves, you piece of crap. I hate you. I hate you so much. So much. But you see, Candace Malcolm's had a tweet earlier today, and I thought it, like I said, framed the situation pretty good. She's like, CBC in a nutshell: lie about what Cherry said, invent a narrative, then challenge their own invented narrative. And see, that's exactly what's going on right now. They lied about what he said, invented this idea that what he was saying was that immigrants don't serve in the army, and that black people and brown people have never served or whatever in the army, and now they're debating this idea, and they're arguing with a straw man. If you wear a poppy and support our troops, Don Cherry was not talking about you, right? See, look at all these immigrants wearing a poppy. And how many of them were actually wearing a poppy? A lot of them were probably just giving it to them that day. Like I showed on my stream yesterday, one guy is like, I bought a bunch of poppies and handed them out to immigrants to prove to, what's his name, to Don Cherry that we support the troops. But I'm like, everybody you donated it to is proof that they didn't already have a thing that day. So the more people you take pictures of is more proof to me of those who decided not to wear the one that day. And of course, they're not going to turn down a free fucking thing. They're not going to turn down a free poppy. And somebody's like, hey, you want to take a picture with me to prove to all these racist Canadians how we're not bad people or whatever? And I haven't seen this tweet. More lies from the mainstream media, this time from CTV, who lie and say during his Coach Corner segment, the 85-year-old Cherry claimed that immigrants do not wear poppies or support veterans. Nope, he didn't say that, liars. So, they're already lying. They're already lying. They're and then they can get away with lying and say, oh, no, well, see, we're legally, they'll have, like these journalists and the people who write articles, they're smart enough to know how to write shit a lot of the times in a way in which they're not going to be sued and brought to court and for clear lying and shit. But they know how to get around that shit. Roach's Corner, let me see, load 6. I'm not taking my poppy off until Don Cherry's apologized to and reinstated. Yeah. John Cherry is right. That's true, NL. I think that's probably a good thing to do. Hey, Semper Fool, how's it going? Point. Communist broadcasting. Let me check out the chat here. Let's see what else other people were saying. Nothing wrong with roofing. I just could never do it. Yeah, it's I don't like roofing necessarily, to be either honest. Nuclear family. Okay, I missed a bunch of crap there. I went up way too high. We need thought leaders, and AJ is part of that community of new media. Well, I guess, right? Action is what he is doing there. Point fire. Roach's Corner. CBC will have a new segment called Kosher's Corner. Probably. Halal Corner. The goal is to have invaders as laborers, whites and natives will be replaced. Yeah, probably. That's what's going on in South Africa. The whites are paying the bills for everyone else. Yeah, that's the future, or that's what they're trying to make. They want to make all of the world like South Africa, essentially. That's my opinion. Don't get mad at take a picture. So let's see what else that some people were tweeting and whatnot today. 1 sec. It's just got to load up. Okay, this guy is complaining. Another CBC pundit or our CBC journalist is like, look at all the hate speech I got after Joe Warmington put me in one of his articles. He made a hit piece about me. It's funny. Every time you mention a leftist in any article now, you made a hit piece against me and you're coming after me, blah, blah, blah. But then they'll write shit about everybody else. And then they'll be like, well, it's not a hit piece. I'm just reporting the facts. What are you saying? So he's like, here's one of the many comments I received after Joe Warmington decided to put my name in his article. Thanks, Joe. So Amar Khan, CBC Manitoba reporter, British Columbia bred, Ontario residing, Manitoba working, deduce as you may. So yeah, CBC article, and somebody wrote like, you fucking faggot, queer, gay boy, bitch, douchebag, Muslim, cocksucker, child molesting, little fucking coward, shit face, puke, slime bag, fucking maggot, Cherry is right. You fucking dirty, disgusting it. I probably not gonna read the rest of it because probably get me banned or something. But that's kind of funny, comical. Grow thicker skin, man. Sorry to say, I'm not gonna say people should go and do that and leave. Don't leave angry, messages like that. But why did you block out the name because you were really protecting the person, or did you block it out because maybe you wrote it or somebody wrote it? And if we knew the name, we could easily trace it back to it being a leftist. So I don't even believe a lot of this shit where they want me to condemn it right away. It's like, nah. Is it real? Prove to me that it's real. Then maybe I'll be like, hey, they shouldn't say that shit. That's kind of mean. And then this guy wrote, You honestly think a less white Canada is better? I have proof it is not. If every black or Indian left Canada, we would be way better off. What happens if all Canadians leave? Only whites are real Canadians, by the way. So, look at all these hateful messages I get. Less white. So what is he wrong though? Let's be honest. Is he wrong? Probably not. If look at the majority white countries like Norway, I can't remember, like the Netherlands or whatever. Very, very low crime rate. Very low. The crime rate in Germany and Sweden was very low before, until, what do you know? A bunch of refugees, in quotation marks, came into the country and ruined it and made it the grenade capital of the world, made it one of the rape capitals of Europe. And did that happen because of white people? No, it didn't. It didn't happen because of white people. And that's not me racist saying that. It's just the truth. It's the truth. Look at Toronto. Look at the Toronto most wanted list. Is there a lot of white people on it? No, there isn't. So diversity brings violence. Diversity brings a lot of bad shit that you don't need in your civilization. Now, I'm not for forced anything. I believe in freedom of association. If you want to live in a diverse society among people, then go ahead, do that. No, I'm not going to force you not to. But if you want to live in a place that isn't diverse, and you want to have control over your borders and where your kids go to school and who your kids go to school with and who whatever, then you should have that right too. But so he goes on, he's like, let's not forget the person who told me he lives right next to an army base, and for me to tread lightly on him and other Canadians. Talk of a veiled threat. So why didn't he show that? Why couldn't he show that? Why did he just have to mention it? You're just making me ask a lot more questions by not showing. How come you can show this and that, but you can't show this? Why not? And then lastly, please don't tell me this is not Canadian. It is and always has been what Canadians are like. Fuck you, Amar Khan. Go fucking suck a dick. Go to your fucking country and go live there. Oh, this is what Canadians are always like. Yet you're working for CBC, the fucking national broadcaster that try to get a job there if you're fucking white. Good fucking luck. They're getting rid of the white people like Don Cherry and shit and replacing them with women and minorities and stuff. And is that representative of the fucking population of Canada? No, it's not. It soon will be, but not at the moment. And they're getting ahead of themselves. But, fuck this shit. Fuck these people. Oh, it is. And Canada has always has been what some Canadians are like. It can be changed, but acknowledging the existence of xenophobia and racism needs to come first. Fuck you, man. No, I don't need to acknowledge any of that shit. Fuck you. Go back to your country if you don't like mean things said to you. Sorry. Do you think I give a shit? Do you care about all the anti-white racism that's going on? You probably don't. So, cry me a river. Thanks for telling your story, and thank you for enriching Canada. I really hope this was a joke. Thank you for enriching Canada. Look at this. That is shameful. Oh my God. I saw a lot of other blue check marks below here too, and they're like, oh my God, how could you? Charles Adler also made a comment. Here, this is what he said below him. Let me go to his fucking tweet. Goddamn Charles Adler. He's like, I am so sorry you're getting this, Amar. It's easy for embarrassed white people to say most Canadians are nothing like these guys. See, Charles Adler, that's what I'm saying. Jews and white people need to be separated, and it needs to be, because this guy's pretending to be white, pretending to speak for whites, being like, oh, what, white people this and white people this and white people that. This is what they do all the time. But then when you press them on it, well, I'm not white, I'm Jewish. Oh, I'm not like these people. Oh, I'm not a goy. I'm not that. But white people who disagree with this trash don't get targeted the way you do. Thanks for retweeting the sick and sad truth about some Canadians. So some Canadians means white Canadians, and then not the other woke leftist white ones who are not racist, but all the other ones that aren't on the left. That's the some Canadians that they're talking about. Hi, Charles. Thank you for your moment on election night and for being a voice for minorities like myself. We need more allies like yourself. Be well. Be well, Charles. We need more allies from other minorities like fucking Charles Adler, who is not white. Okay? He's not white. Jews are not white. I'm going to go on with that. They're not white. And it's a lie, and they need to be separated from white people, because I can find you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples of them saying they're white 1 minute and then not white the next minute, like the same exact people. There's Twitter accounts, there's people dedicated to finding these tweets and these people and showing it, and then they'll even write articles about them, say like, oh no, this is actually, they're targeting us. It's like, no, they're just showing how people are very deceptive, right? But people, they speak on behalf of white people and be like, oh, all these dumb white people and nothing like these guys. But white people who disagree with this trash don't get targeted the way you do. It's easy for embarrassed white people. How am I embarrassed? See, this is the thing too, right? White people are not tribalistic like other groups of people. So we don't get embarrassed when white people do shit, like a black person or an Asian or whatever. Like, they get embarrassed because they feel like, oh, everybody's judging me, and they're all going to think, oh, black people are like that because white people are racist, yada, 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 yada. But we don't understand that a lot of people will judge white people by the actions of singular white people. But we don't understand that, so we feel a lot of the times no embarrassment for what these people did. So he's saying embarrassed. What do you mean embarrassed? Nobody's embarrassed. But fuck Charles Adler and his subversive fucking ass. Screw people like that. I'm white and I would never take a job with CBC or Rogers. Yeah, exactly. Well, I would never work for them to begin with, right? But I'm just saying, like, if you were, it would be really difficult to get one. Judaism was born out of the oppression of the Egyptians. Probably not. I don't think it was. Behind every war in history, there are bagel crumbs. Nature in a nutshell, power corrupts. Yeah, that's true. Power does corrupt, absolutely, and that's why I'm for small government and a small state. And because I know power corrupts, I know it down to my bones and down to my every fiber of my body. I know that power corrupts and how it affects people. That this is one of the only reasons I'm against the government and against anything like that, because I see it in my own life. I see how it corrupts even some of my own family members who've had positions of power over me, and how they've exploited me or whatever. I'm like, hey, if my own family is going to do it, then I don't trust fucking stranger politicians to care about me more than these people, right? And if they can get corrupted on power and abuse it, and it's only a very little bit of power that they're getting, they're like, oh, they're your boss in this job, right? Which is very little power. Now give people the power of the state, give people the power of hundreds of billions and millions and trillions of dollars to their disposal, give them the power of the government, or the military, and you'll see what happens. Look at Hillary Clinton. She can't help herself. They're addicted to power. It's an addiction. It's a disease. And they are addicted to it. They can't help themselves. They need it. Read your history, fool. Shut up, NL expat. Get out. Get off my channel too with your nonsense. Anarchy, in my mind, still waiting to see others start civil disobedience. Well, thank you, Matt. But I don't know, man. You're probably not woke on the whole fucking Jew thing, NL. So you probably think that what I'm saying is anti-Semitic and shit, but it's not. It's just the truth. And yeah, I don't give a fuck where Judaism came from. What does that even mean? Judaism was born out of the oppression of Egypt. So, and what's your point? Muslims didn't exist yet, so you can't blame it on Muslims. Or are you just going to blame it on Semitic brown people who lived around Jews and shit? I don't fucking know. I don't know what your point was. Yeah, I know, right? I don't want, what, if I ban somebody, then AJ, free speech. This is the same person who's complaining about the other day. They're like trying to get me my wrench removed from whoever's channel. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I was fucking around when I'm like, I'm going to ban you. You better watch out. But some people have a really hard time understanding sarcasm. But we are all human. There is no US and them. See, that's what I'm saying. NL expat, man, you're like a few years behind everybody when it comes to what the fuck is going on, man. Like, yes, like we are all human. Of course, we're all human, man. Like, what are you talking about? Yes, Jewish people are human. Black people are human. Asians are human. But you know what? I don't know if you've been watching enough channels that talk about, race and IQ, about, cultures not, working together so well. You're a plant, AJ. I dare you to denounce Muhammad. Okay, I denounce Muhammad. No, I don't. Actually, Islam is peace. Islam is peace. Praise Allah. Praise Allah. You better watch out, man. I'm going to send my Syrian slaves after you, surrounded with an exploding vest. I got plenty of them. I got six Syrian slaves. I can spare 2 of them to send to you. No, I'm kidding, right? This is going to get me banned for sending threats to people or something. No, I'm kidding, man. Jesus Christ. Guess what? I don't have Syrian slaves either. I don't actually have Syrian slaves. They're not in my house. I'm not beating them. Just for maybe if somebody from the left is watching my channel right now, I don't beat my slaves. I treat them very nicely, but I don't think you know what words mean. Who's being passive aggressive? I'm directly addressing you right now. I'm directly addressing you, but use words you don't really understand, whatever. It makes a lot of sense. I would side with Muslims over SJWs and feminists. He is trolling you. No, I've seen this person before. They're already trying to ban him from live football games, not in the house, but tied up in the yard like dogs. Denounce Muhammad. I'm a plant. I gotta shave my beard at one point. People still they think I'm a plant. They think I'm a plant, man. I'm not a plant. I don't like Islam. I'd stop over and say, hey, Burnout Rage, how's it going, man? Long time no see, man. And thank you, everybody else, for joining the chat and the stream. I really appreciate it. Thank you for liking, sharing, all that good stuff. Hey, Scott. Hey, Mr. Goatman. Hello, Obsessive Compulsive. Hey, I can't say your name. Drifter. Hello, Truth. How's it going, man? Miss McNamara, how are you? Hope you're having a good day. Hello, AC. Hey, Alan, I think I already said that. Robert, how are you today? Hey, Kaz. Who else am I not seeing here? Anybody else? Hey, Semper, how are you? Okay, that's For anybody else, I'm sorry I missed you. Maybe I'll see you a little bit later. What do you think of stoning Sorora? I'm not a Muslim, dude. We shouldn't be stoning people, except Islam is right about women. That's the only thing I agree about Islam. Islam is right about women, but that's about it, right? It's when you shave your head is when we will worry. All right. Yeah, exactly. That's right. I'll shave my head and I'll shave my mustache. Then you worry, right? A guy in Hamilton had a food place at the university and no one would work for him. Why is that? I don't why wouldn't they work for him? I have a prophet beard. Oublier pas la croix. Hey, son of Rambo, how are you today? We need to get some Canada First memes going. All Muslims and Sikhs are gay. They make these women cover up, dress boys. Well, you know, I don't know if they're gay because they wouldn't still be around, I guess. But Jesus is God. You know, yeah, sure. You know, I'm an atheist, but I like Christianity better than any other religion. I think that people should be Christian, and I wouldn't promote atheism on anybody. I believe what I believe, but I would never promote, especially today. I would feel bad for trying to make somebody disbelieve in Christianity and Jesus and stuff, because it's one of the only things that is holding out against Marxism, socialism, all this crap. You know, like this is why communists attack it immediately. They want to get rid of it. You know, they'll work with people like Muslims and stuff because their religion isn't so far off from Marxism, totalitarianism, and this type of shit. They are gay and it's the quarantine. I will check out your live stream later. All right, man. Well, hopefully you do. I hope you do check it out and share, like it, subscribe, come to the Discord, guys. I'll share it once again. I want to get as many people as I can in there because, you know, why not have more people there? An Islamist wants to behead unbelievers and the moderators will hold you down and look the other way while he cuts. Yeah, I agree. Point fire. There was more to my comment. No one would work, so he made. Muslims are taught to hate infidels. Yeah, exactly. They are, right? And that's why I like Christianity, because it's a universal religion. You know, they apply their principles and their ethics universally, whereas Islam says you can kill the infidels, but make sure you treat Muslims well, and you can kill this lady and cut off her hand and execute her if she drinks from the same water fountain as you, like that Pakistani or I think woman in that one Muslim country. And same with Judaism. You know, you can't lend with interest to a Jew, but you can lend with interest to people who are not. You know, you can help other non-Jews as long as it's not going to hurt you and the Jews in your life or whatever. You can help people as long as it doesn't have any negative effect on Jews and you personally whatsoever. Like there's a lot of this, you know, oh, you can treat people like this and people like that, right? But Christianity is universal, and they say, well, we treat everybody equally. We treat the sinner the same. We treat the believer the same. We treat the non-believers the same. Everybody. And that's what is really good in society and has helped probably get us to where we are right now with the lack of slavery and all the things that we have today, because we apply these ethics universally, right? And this is what also led to people coming up with ideas where more people had rights and the abilities to do things, right? I think it's the combination of Christianity mixed with philosophy from the Greeks and the Roman times, and like these two things melded together is what helped create Western civilization, and the ethics and the ideas that we've lived in and put forth in society, in the way that we structure society, is based on these two things, I think. And that's why we've done so much better, because we've approached things through, in a lot of times, an ethical lens, which will have a positive effect later on, right? Like, you know, you can the way people used to treat slaves, it wasn't very efficient. You could beat a slave, you could do all this, but they would only produce so much for you. But the more freedoms you give your slaves, the more they'll produce, the more resources, the more they feel that they can go and choose their profession and choose their job and keep some of the money that they actually produce instead of giving it all to the king or to whomever else. Then that spurred more investment, that spurred more growth, more progress, slowly giving more freedoms. And that is because I think of Christianity and of, like I said, of old Greek philosophers like Socrates and whatever else, and other people, Thomas Aquinas and stuff, who came along and whatnot, and Lutherans, or I mean not Lutheran, but Martin Luther, etc. He put a joke notice saying, looking for slaves to boss around and be kicked out. Don't forget to give AJ his thumbs up for his fantastic work. Oh, thank you, Burnout Rage. Everybody hit the thumbs up like Burnout said. I really appreciate that. Templars slaughter everybody who didn't capitulate. Power corrupts. Yeah, that's true. The Templars were a force that eventually, they were like, I guess, a police force type thing at first. And then they got a lot of power and started killing people and shit. I remember watching some documentary about the Templars. The Old Testament we use to kill our enemies. Christianity has been taken over. Yep. Is why we government feels so bound to bring more. I don't believe in a higher power after Yugoslavia. Well, who knows? All religions have progressed. Islam hasn't and never will. Well, I wouldn't say all religions have progressed. Religions are not supposed to progress. That's the thing, right? Like Christianity has never progressed. It doesn't need to progress, right? You know what? The progress that happened in Christianity throughout the decades and years was bad. The Catholic Church came around, fucked with a bunch of shit. Now you got all these Protestants that believe all this different crap and different garbage, when if you actually just followed exactly what he said, exactly what the Bible was preaching, people would be a lot better. They would be much better off. But it doesn't need to evolve. Religions are not supposed to evolve. Islam is the way it is, and it shouldn't change. It's just a shit religion. It's not that great. Well, it's I wouldn't say it's shit, at the same time, because what does shit mean? What does shit religion mean? Are they able to produce and reproduce many offspring? It appears to me like they can. So Islam, at the very least, is helping them produce a lot of their offspring and produce more Muslims. So it does work. It is working. And Christianity did that too, but we're becoming more and more irreligious, and we don't have the same ideas and stuff they do. Like, they have a bad religion, I agree, but I mean, it's working. It's working for them, and they're going to replace us with their religion because their beliefs are stronger than ours a lot of the times. Religion itself is, I think, was naturally selected through evolution, right? I don't think I think it was naturally selected because just imagine, right? Imagine if you're in a fight with somebody, right? And one person is fighting for a god and a really strong belief in something that, even when he dies, his soul is going to go on to a new life, he's going to keep living on, and he's going to be in Valhalla, with the gods and the kings because he died honorably. And then you get one of those guys, like a crazy Viking, against somebody who is an atheist, who doesn't believe in anything, doesn't believe in much. Well, they're probably not going to fight to the death and shit. Because why? Well, they don't have the same beliefs. And if they're locked in a room, the guy like that, he's probably going to win. The guy with the stronger beliefs is going to win. And this is what is happening in the West, with Islam. And, we weakened our culture completely. And then it just makes it easy for them to come in and take over. Well, Lord of the Flies is a book, right? It's not actually a real movie, a real thing. And I would agree to some extent that human nature hasn't changed, but I would kind of disagree with that as well because, you know, are we at each other's throats right now? Look at America, right? They could take over Canada right now if they wanted to. If you go back a couple thousand years, we would be taken over and we would be slaves right now. That's what it would be because we're way weaker than they are. The only reason Canada exists is because America exists and protects us. That's the only reason we exist is because America is our big daddy protector. And if not, China would come in and take us over. And unless people would come in and take us over. But people are not exactly the same as they used to be. Things do progress, things do change. If we were to lose all of our technology and shit and be thrust back to a stone world age, then maybe we would revert back to the way that we are, right? But realistically, like I said, America could easily take us over right now. The same is the case with lots of other countries and stuff, and they don't. They don't enslave us. A lot of the people would find that horrible. They wouldn't be for it. Even the leftists that hate us, they probably wouldn't even be for that, right? Let's not assume all these liberals are like evil people. Even they just hate us. A lot of liberals are just stupid people. They're ignorant. They don't know any better. But it's true. America is protecting us. They're saving us. People are saying, what if Alberta separates? America is going to invade and take us over. It's like, no, they can invade and take us over right now without breaking a sweat. They could easily take over all of Canada and take all of our resources, all of our money. They don't need to trade with us. You know what? And you know what? The rest of the world couldn't do a fucking thing about it. They couldn't do a fucking thing about it. But they don't. They're not doing it. They could have done it. They could have done it 50 years ago. They could have done it 40 years ago, 60, 70 years ago when people would have been more okay with it. They still haven't done it. Now, if America gets changed and then it's run by a bunch of Muslims, all right, then maybe Canada is going to be taken over. But white people have changed. White people are different. White people have improved, have progressed. And no, okay, I'm not going to say only white people because that's not true. Okay, I'm not trying to single out. Lots of people have improved. Lots of people are not horrible. Most people are good people. Most people are not terrible people. Most people I've met in my life, whether they are black, white, Asian, have been pretty cool to me, have been pretty nice to me. But that doesn't mean I want to bring them into my country and have them replace me. I don't care how nice you are. I can appreciate how nice you are in your country, and I can appreciate your culture in your country, right? But let's see here. I got I guess I got a little bit of an article to read from the Globe and Mail. And let's see here. There's one tweet I want to share of this one guy, though. He's talking about this. He's like, this Cathal Kelly column, written in almost no time flat, is an extraordinarily insightful piece about Don Cherry and the changing face of Canada that finally did him in. So, once again, Canada were being replaced, and this is what did him in. Diversity did him in. Diversity is what did in Don Cherry. He's pretty much said it. And you look at all these blue check marks. What a great read. Brad Ross. What is the origin of the last name Ross? Look it up. I'm not too sure, but I've heard that before. Cathal is easily one of Canada's finest writers. Then Rosemary Barton. It's so perfectly written. Ooh, it's so great. You write so amazingly. Okay, but the piece is like shitting on Don Cherry a lot. It's like, he's a piece of crap, and it's good that he got fired, essentially, right? I'm like, how is this beautifully written? So Cathal Kelly Don Cherry, fired by Sportsnet's, hated any changes to hockey and his imaginary Canada. So once again, the Canada that we remember, the Canada that we want to preserve, to the left is an imaginary Canada. It's never existed. There wasn't a majority white European population in Canada. That never existed. It's an imaginary world. People didn't like hockey and all this stuff. That's imaginary Canada. But he says a bunch of crap that I'm not going to highlight. I'm just going to read the highlighted stuff. Ostensibly, Mr. Cherry's work was analyzing hockey games, but really what he did was insult people. Quebecers, Scandinavians, Slavs, Pinkos, anyone who didn't appreciate the beauty of blood on the ice. It's like, it's funny. So he could insult all these other white groups and it wasn't a big deal. But until he decided to kind of point a direction at people that may not be white, okay, he's got to go. You can say whatever, they didn't care that much. And I'm not offended by anything he said about these people and Scandinavians and Slavs. Like, get over yourselves. His mode was what might charitably be called free form. He had a disconnected, rambling speaking style. So now he has a rambling speaking style. They just kind of throw jabs at him the whole time. He often didn't make much sense. Oh yeah, he was just loved by most of Canadians because he didn't make a lot of sense. Sense at high volume. If his outrage was comedic, it also appeared real. It could be hypnotic. So essentially he's saying like people who liked him were stupid. He's like, he often didn't make much sense, but he made even less sense at high volume. If his outrage was comedic, it also appeared real. It could be hypnotic. Because they're kind of saying the same thing, like, oh, people like him because they said that because he appears real, he's not politically correct. So for a couple of decades, Canada outsourced its ID to this pugnacious twerp from Kingston. So this pugnacious twerp, fuck you, asshole, you're a twerp. Mr. Cherry's trick was using hockey as a lever. No one had ever done that before or had so successfully. He came along in the 70s as English-speaking Canada was beginning to discover that jingoism works just as well up north as it does down south. The Summit series, our most eulogized contribution to the Cold War, started a wave. Mr. Cherry wrote it into the broadcast booth. So he's like, oh, he came in because of the Cold War wave and the anti. So this guy's probably a Marxist, and he's glad that somebody, his enemy is fired. He's like, good, we got rid of one of these people. I'm going to call Antifa to let them know. He started out on the CBC in the early 80s. He quickly found his straight man in Ron McLean. He learned the showman's trick of using costume to distract from content because there wasn't much of the latter. So now he's saying that, the content was lackluster, and he wore a colorful shirt because of that, right? Mr. Cherry would appear for a few minutes during the first intermission of Hockey Night in Canada and sputter about whatever was going on. He'd bang the desk and try to squirm his way out of those high collar shirts. Just the way, I love the way these leftists write about people they dislike. You could just tell, like, clearly you never liked this guy. You're just so happy you finally got the opportunity to come out and say what you really think, because like you couldn't before. As a Canadian, you felt embarrassed watching his Coach's Corner segment with foreigners. This wasn't TV. It was vaudeville. It was two guys chasing a hat. How to explain to someone not from here that this man wasn't just loved, but worshipped? You couldn't. So he's like, oh, whenever I watch hockey with my foreigner friends, I would have to embarrassingly be like, oh, this guy, yeah, we love him. I know. But guess what, guys? We got rid of Don Cherry, so now we can be cool to our foreigner buddies, and they won't think we're losers. Oh, this is great. In 2004, the CBC framed a series around the search for the greatest Canadian. It was modeled on the show from Britain. Blah, 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 Queen Elizabeth. And then he came in 7th between a couple of prime ministers. That's where Mr. Cherry came in Canada, is one of the greatest Canadians. And he's like, that was really all you needed to know about Canada at the time. 15 years can be a long time for Mr. Cherry. They were an absolute age. He continued to talk about Canada, in which everyone grew up near an iced over pond and held that the flag above all things. But Mr. Cherry's Canada was not an idyllic place. It was beset by the encroachment of foreign influence into our national game and our way of life. Perhaps people hadn't noticed that part of the act before, or hadn't taken it seriously. The xenophobic, the resistance to progress, the fairy tale in history of history, right? So he's like, it's xenophobic resistance to progress. So progress to the left means replacing white people, essentially, right? But they started to. In the end, what Mr. Cherry really hated, and he hated an awful lot of things, was change. He wanted hockey in Canada to remain just as they had been when he first got to know them. A man's game played by woodsy John Wayne types who could knock your teeth out on the rink and then help you raise a barn on the weekend. His vision of masculinity suited this country for a time when it felt itself weak. But now that Canada seemed to be getting the better of the 21st century, there was no need for Mr. Cherry's bantam rooster routine. It became provincial and gauche. Who calls anything gauche, you fucking faggot? The tipping point may have been the gradual removal of fighting from hockey. Once people turned on fighting, Mr. Cherry turned on them. He seemed to lose what little joy he had in to and fro. His bits turned into lectures and then into sermons. He spent his Saturday nights rebuking country that had moved on without him. Hockey people were still watching, even the ones who found him distasteful. On Saturday night in pro hockey arenas across the continent, many of those on press row would get up from their seats during the first intermission. They'd move to a TV so they could see what Mr. Cherry had to say about what they just watched. No other analysis in any other sport commands that sort of attention. But Mr. Cherry had lost everyone else, and he knew it. So essentially, yeah, he's saying like everybody who likes hockey, is going to pay attention, but he lost everybody else. So who is everybody else? Everybody who doesn't like hockey and who doesn't watch it? Who cares? Eventually, his frustration extended to the people who changed the imaginary Canada Mr. Cherry still lived in. So it's imaginary. We live in imaginary Canada. They're gaslighting us. This is gaslighting. You don't know what reality is. You don't know what things used to be like. That was an imaginary Canada. This is the Canada this is how it's always been. Finally taken on. Okay, he said his frustration extended to people who changed the imaginary Canada Mr. Cherry still lived in. Newcomers, hockey agnostics, you people. Mr. Cherry had finally taken on something too big even for him, our collective values. He'd given the country the excuse it needed to move on from the past. In the end, bigotry didn't take down Don Cherry. He'd always been a bigot. What got him in the end was Canada. The chaining diversity of Canada is what really got Don Cherry removed from politics, which is kind of right. Yeah. Diversity did kind of fuck him over. There's another Rosemary who promoted another article from who said this article is really well written too. This is well written and well argued by Bruce Archer. Don Cherry should go, but then he should have gone a long time ago. So fuck you, you fucking dumb cunt, Rosemary Barton. Like, fire this dumb bitch. I hate her so much. I hate her so damn much. Like, I despise her. I have the article up, right? But, I don't even know if I want to read it right now. Here, let me check the stream here. Let me check the chat. I don't want to go too much long. Hey, Julie, how's it going? Welcome to the chat. Hey, Julie, AJ refuses to show us his Syrians again. Oh, my fucking Siri just responded to me saying, AJ, fuck you, Siri. Do not start recording me. I can feel your hate. I'm keeping my poppy on until Mr. Jerry gets reinstated. Oh, yeah, right. Rosemary Barton equals Smugly Puff. Yeah, she's terrible. I hate her so much. So damn much. Climate change is an exaggeration. Glacials, tropicals over 1 million years. Are you telling me that yeah, I know I don't believe in climate change. It's bullshit. Have the courage of your convictions, AJ. What are you talking about? Then why did you choose to read it? How about some predictions? Okay, I was reading other shit there. So what are you saying? They're about America. Okay, what are you saying, NL? What is your problem with me? What did I do to you? What did I do to you? Okay, Ross is Scottish. Okay, you're right. I'm just suspect of everything now, to be honest. You're reading the Attack the Messenger. I don't know what you're talking about. Not too sure. I'm telling you guys, if I was to pick on enemy in this, I would be Islam. Okay, I'm not going to read your stuff anymore because you're kind of just screwing up what I'm talking about, and you're making me lose track. Exactly. Kaz, yeah, you're right. Forget the trolls. That's my problem. Has the courage of his convictions. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, have you watched my channel? Clearly you're new to my channel because very few people say what I say in a lot of the other spheres and stuff, especially when it comes to what I believe and shit. I don't pull my punches. I don't on anything. So I will give you a wrench. I was thinking about, I'm like, I'm going to give Julie a wrench because I'm like, I got to add a couple more moderators, but she's going to get a wrench. And I'll add a couple more a little bit later. I took some away. You know what? Faye, I'm going to give Faye a wrench because I argue with her a lot. And because I argue with her, I trust that she won't, delete people that are being dicks to me because, I don't want anybody banning anybody really, but I'll give one to Julie, that person. Don't ban NL expat because I'm just going to hear about it for fucking another month or something from somebody else being like, yeah, AJ, give me a wrench, give me power, 0 bannings. Well, Jerry, I'll give Jerry a wrench. I'll give Jerry a wrench because, you're a good guy. You give me a lot of shit a lot of times and you treat me like shit. I'll give you a wrench because I trust you. I trust you, Jerry. I only watch Coach's Corner. I dislike hockey. Cherry told heartwarming stories. Yeah, right. I never watched it either, right? I don't watch hockey, to be honest. Give a wrench to your low bid invaders. Give me a wrench. I dare you. Okay, well, I could give you one, but just don't ban anybody. Just please don't ban anybody that they don't deserve to be banned, right? I have a wrench on V live streams, so I'm satisfied. Oh, Snacko. You know what? That's the thing. It's hard to give up because there's a lot of people that I like. And I'm like, I like Alan, but it's good to have a good enough, at least a few moderators, I guess, whatever. And if my channel does grow eventually, and then if Julie's not around, if Faye's not around, and Snacko, Alan, I like you, Alan, too. Where's my wrench? See what it starts? See what starts? What about me? I want a wrench. But I want one. All right, you know what? At NXNL, I'll give you a moderator thing for a short time. And if you anger me, I'll take it away. I know you're kidding, AC. I figured a lot of you guys are just kidding. Give everyone a wrench. No, then it's going to look like, what do you call it? I don't know if you guys know who Tonka Saw is, but that guy fucking, you look at his chat, it's all blue, it's all wrenches. Like, Jesus Christ, man. But I already gave a few, so you know, I'll probably give out a couple more. You know, I'm watching. Where is Mencken? I have no idea where Mencken is. Faye is always around. I don't have a life. Oh well, that's good. At least, you know. Watch out. Yeah, I gave NL expat power. We'll see how it corrupts him. NL is on probation. Yeah. Haha, oh Tonka, I completely forgot. Yeah, exactly. Remember Tonka Saw? Like, that guy's fucking a retard. AJ is holding the sword of Damocles over me. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you watch out, NL. I can giveth and I can taketh away. I can giveth and taketh away very easily. And I have no qualms about doing it either. I'll take away your rights and freedoms. No issue about it. No issue. Damocles. Damocles? Damocles. Okay, I don't know. Damocles. Or Damocles? 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 I don't know, man. There's lots of people in the internet corner. Angel, haha, oh Tonka, oh yeah, like yeah, but Tonka, that guy's hilarious, man. Let's show this one video that they're trying to show of what's his name, Don Cherry, and I think it was the Star. They're like, oh, look at this and all these hateful things that he said from all these years prior. I'm like, this is just great. I'm like, this is hilarious. I'm like, I love this. Everybody join my Discord if you haven't already. There's the link in the description. But let's see here. Oh, sorry. My bad. I was going to share the wrong thing there. Sharing Chrome Remembrance Day. Oh, sorry. No, that's not the wrong thing. Okay, Don Cherry. So this is, you know, if you look at Toronto Star, I don't know how many angry tweets they've made about Don Cherry so far. It's ridiculous. But here, I'll play this. And it's a clip of all the mean things that Don Cherry has said throughout his years. And, you know, this just makes me like him a lot more.
I'm going to say something.
Ha! Way too loud. Way too loud. Way too loud.
First of all, okay? I want to say something first of all.
Okay, you know,
don't believe, and I really believe this, I don't believe women should be in the male dressing room.
See, that's not even a horrible thing. I'm going to refresh it because it's going to stop and shit. I know. But I'm just going to refresh it here, guys. But what? Is that bad saying women shouldn't be in the men's locker room? Like, no, they shouldn't be. Are you okay with men being in your locker room? Probably not, unless maybe they're trans. And even then, a lot of feminists are like, get these trans out of here. Get these trans men are not men or not women, and they shouldn't be allowed in here. And then you're like, okay, but you want to be allowed in the men's thing? Well, yeah, because it's sexist if you don't allow me in there. It's like, okay.
First of all, okay? I want to say something first of all. Are
you kidding me? Fuck you.
Don't believe, and I really believe this, I don't believe women should be in the male dressing room. I know. Wait a minute. I remember the first time it happened to me. Guys are walking around naked.
Totally think a woman can be in the dressing room.
No.
I do believe a lot of guys take advantage, and they are sexist.
I'm saying natives have an inferiority complex is when something happens to them.
I love it. He said natives have an inferiority complex. Sorry for the jumping around with the video. I don't know why it's doing that. My computer was having issues earlier, but he said they have an inferiority complex.
Thanks, Chris. But why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't some kids feel like they haven't been given a fair shake in life? Ask Davison.
Fair shake in life. Go out and get your own fair shake in life and work for it. Don't give me that.
See, this is why the left hates Don Cherry, because he's like, don't give me that shit. Go get your own fucking fair shake.
Bienvenue, corner de coaches.
I know it's super laggy,
and
but
that's for you because all the French guys in Montreal are mad at you.
But the other night on Coach's
Well, it's a bilingual country. Remember that.
Things you've said about him down here. He's a racist, muscle-bound Ontario. Stuff like
Lindros.
yeah, about Lindros. Of course, I'm talking about Lindros like that, tearing the fabric of our nations apart. Now, look, you don't want to speak English down here. You don't want universities down here English. You don't want signs up. How in the world do you not think an 18-year-old kid from Ontario, and why he doesn't want to come here? He's afraid. Oh, he said he'd come and play in front. But Ron, did you fall off a turbine truck? And you women are going to get mad at me out there. When you come to the games, keep your eyes on the puck. And I'm telling you, I've seen some awful smacks. And it's always a woman yapping away there.
No,
look at the game. Lots
of fan.
so yeah, he's just going on, and they're like, see, look at, he's been doing this for so many years, these racist rats. How could he be doing this? Oh my God. Let me go up through the chat here, though. Let me check out. I'm also a wrench on V. Oh, you're also a wrench on V too? AJ is holding this. Okay, sorry, I already saw that. Kind of like how the VAC is holding swords over vets. Yes, he dressed the best. Laugh I don't need to an eye test, AJ. I laughed when you pronouncing strange. You pronouncing strange. AJ is a modern warrior. I love him to bits. Oh, thank you, Julie. Damocles. Okay, that's a better way of making Damocles. Okay, that's didn't I say Damocles or Damocles or something? I don't know. Dude, that's a pretty fucked up word to pronounce. Give me a fucking break here. Do you like arcade machines? Yeah, sure, I like arcades. Epstein didn't kill himself. Apple A is correct about that. That was clearly a murder. He was murdered. AJ, I still have half a deer butcher. Oh, to butcher? Nice, man. You did some deer hunting. Is it deer season right now? I know my dad wanted me to get a ticket so then he could get another deer so he could shoot another one. You're just attacking the messenger, useful idiot. What are you talking about? I don't know what you. Okay, I'm not going to pay attention to you. Be careful, Apple A. You may get put on the Clinton body list. I agree with Don. Useful idiot. If you chose to ignore history, you are doomed to repeat it. Okay, NL, are you trolling? Are you just fucking stupid? What are you talking about? Useful idiot? Who's a useful idiot? Or are you talking about somebody else? Can't hunt on Sundays. It is deer season until end of November. Okay, right. Yes, you did, AJ, and it was decided it was an Italian name. Okay, right. Take away his wrench. I'm gonna take it away because he's saying a bunch of stupid shit. You're right, Kaz. You're right. You gotta ignore people because that's what a lot of people at the end of the day want is attention. You know. Yes, it's free season in Alberta. Okay, nice. Awesome. Let's see here, but I guess I had another article that I could share, but I don't think I really need to. Maybe I'll just hang out with the chat a little bit longer, talk a little bit more. So if anybody's got anything they want to address, they want me to talk about, if NL Expat has any things that I'm being a useful idiot about, tell me exactly what it is so I can, disprove you. Ben Shapiro says Owen Benjamin wants attention. Well, Ben Shapiro is a fucking retard, and he's a Zionist shill. And he, I have a clip of Ben Shapiro where he's calling to censor racist. And he's like, oh, if they're racist, then yeah, they should be censored and removed from the internet. And you're like, fuck you, man. I will giveth and taketh away the wrenches, Apple. That's why I said I will giveth away and I will taketh away. 50 minutes debating a straw man. Yeah, I know. I hate Ben Shapiro. I got a bunch of other shit from that TPS stuff actually in my what do you call it? My Telegram that I have. I could maybe show you guys some of the stuff if you want. Let me see here, because you know what I do? I'll save a lot of stuff to my Telegram, and that way I can go look at it later. Let's see here. Derek O'Keefe, Vancouver Canucks, Candace Malcolm, World 1-6. Hold on a second. Marcon. Telling a woman, hijab, wearing this. Oh yeah. This is a black teacher assaults a white student. I don't know if you guys want to see this fucking. But you would see this in America, and this would be a huge story right now. It'd be all over the place if a white student was beating the shit out of a black student. We know this, but this girl can go and smash the shit out of this student, and she curb stomped her. She literally curb stomped her at one point. It's pretty fucked up. Let's see. I don't know if it's sharing this, if it brought you to the tweet that's sharing here. One sec. Here, 1 second here. Let me share the actual tweet. There's a bunch of shit that happened. I could talk about more stuff, but I could be on here forever. But this happened, and I don't know what place. I don't know, some place in America. This is a teacher beating the shit out of a white student here. She kicked her in the face, kicked her right in the head. Punch, punch. This is a teacher. It's where you're putting your white kids in school. Be ready that they're going to be treated like this. This is not even the first thing. I saw another thing the other day where another white girl, the security guard came and choke slammed her against the ground, like threw her to the ground, her back smacked to get out of the cement. It's ridiculous, man. But this is diversity. Diversity is our strength. Looks like a Big Mike Savage. Yeah, man, it's pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up, man. That's not even the worst of it. It's not even the worst of it. This is pretty funny here. I'll show this. Oh God, I love how this just keeps going on, and everybody keeps saying Epstein didn't kill himself.
Well, the three of you told me you voted for the president in 2016. You're supporters of his. Why do you like him so much, and what policies stand out to you that you support?
Well, I would say mainly just the no-nonsense policies, and especially since Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. That's awesome, yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. I gotta watch out for that. I'll probably get a copyright strike or something. This is a pretty funny tweet. I gotta show this one. I gotta show it. And this is the society we live in. Even if two black people fight each other, it's white supremacy fault. I saw another thing where there was two Indian students attacking a black student or saying racial slurs, and they blamed it on white supremacy. But this person, Brittany Cooper, my entire childhood, I was bullied by other black children for acting white. What I know is that the children who said it about me were wrong and cruel. As a grown-ass person, what I know is that white supremacy is to blame. No matter what, white people are just to blame. No matter what, doesn't matter. You're always to blame. This is a pretty good thing. This is from Pat Buchanan right here. This is him, and I don't know when this discussion happened, but it's pretty interesting. And this is from the Columbia Bugle.
Republicans ended after 90 minutes because it was to discuss gun violence and gun safety. And that issue used to work against.
Come on. Why do you do this? Why is Twitter like that? You know, it's like, don't do that.
What turned the tide was when the governor called a special session and the Republicans ended after 90 minutes because it was to discuss gun violence and gun safety. And that issue used to work against Democrats all the time. It helped them win Virginia.
You know, let's take Fairfax County. Yeah. Look, there's many, many immigrants in there, third world countries, who've come into there. They're moving into the schools. They want schools and roads and all the rest of it. Demography is destiny in the long run. And there's no question about it. The long run trends, ever since the Nixon-Reagan era and 49 state victories, have been people moving away from the Republican Party. We used to carry California, was a given. You'd sweep California. Nixon carried it 6 times. Reagan carried it 4 times. You couldn't carry it.
So are you endorsing the Republican Party, evolving then? And
no, the point is, no, I mean, my believers is this: you got a certain time, and those of us of a certain age, and your time in the way, those old ways of winning, I don't think can last more than 1 or 2 more elections.
So this is the white flag of surrender.
No, it's not. I mean, I think you go into the resistance, isn't that?
Very well said.
You know, it's amazing how he can keep his calm and collect with all those fucking people around him and shit, right? You know, but you know, he's right. Demographics is destiny. Demography is destiny. And you see these articles come out about Scheer and stuff and the conservatives and explaining why they lost. And it's the same thing that they're saying to this guy there, or Pat Buchanan. They're like, oh, you know, the messaging that the conservatives have to do, they need to change it because, you know, this stuff just isn't working as much as it used to because people are changing. They're like, just like what they're saying about Don Cherry, like people are changing, their attitudes are changing. No, they aren't. What's changing is the people are changing. The demographics are changing. Like he was saying, like California, that was a place that was a Republican stronghold for decades and decades. Since the beginning of America. And then it got overrun by Hispanics. And now it is a blue state, and it will never be a red state ever again. So people need to wake up to demographics and demography before it's too late. You know, and you know, we got to wake up other white people. Let's see here. What else do I got? Oh yeah, this is call to cut aid to Israel detrimental to U.S. interests. Oh, I love that. You know, it's like, oh, of course, you know. This is from the Daily Wire. Makovsky calls to cut aid to Israel detrimental to U.S. interest. Oh, you better stop funding the Israelis or, you know, big bad Israel is going to fuck you up. That little tiny continent with no power of its own. Who cares? Who cares? Nobody gives a shit what you say. Nobody gives a shit. Oh, yeah. Apparently, this is from Rance Derrick on his Twitter, I saw. And apparently the guy who assaulted that woman at the PPC rally has a GoFundMe account, and he's raising money. The Allah Al-Sufi is raising money on GoFundMe to pay for his legal fees for assaulting an elderly woman. And this thing is not being removed from GoFundMe. So I guess criminals can collect money to pay for their fucking crimes. Oh, okay, GoFundMe. But if you're white and you're any way promoting less immigration or something, then no. You know, Faith Goldie has a tweet talking about that, and she's like, you know, I was banned completely from all these things for her point of view, yet this guy can still share or can still collect money. And, you know, she's like, I got banned from GoFundMe for raising legal funds not relating to any criminal charge against me. Why is a Syrian refugee who abused, harassed, and discriminated against a Canadian mother allowed to fundraise legal fees on the same site? You know, please report. So everybody, please go report this guy right now. Go report his GoFundMe. Here, is this the link right here? I'll put the link in the description right now. Go report this guy's fucking account or his GoFundMe right now or whenever you get the chance, because that should not fucking be there. That's bullshit. I put the link in the description right now. So go there, get rid of his fucking shit, because that's bullshit, man. You know, Antifa can raise money for all that crap, but you know, we can't. It's insane. It's not fair. Here's another thing. Here's another article. I'm not gonna read it, but I'm just gonna share you the beginning of it. So I'm like, oh my god, man, I fucking hate these people. So, treated as a criminal, Walmart receipt and bag check angers customers. Your rights explained. So, you know, it's Walmart checking your receipt to make sure you didn't like steal anything is now a civil rights thing, and you know, they can't ask you. Now companies and stores can no longer make sure theft is occurring. You know, they can't decrease theft because, you know, theft is a big deal in any company, any store like that, and there's going to decrease the ability to stop it because it's like discriminatory, etc. Right? But you know, that's you know, I guess I got some other things. 1 second here. What else do I have? See, this is what they're teaching in schools right now, which is why you should probably take your kids out of government schools as soon as possible. What is this? Telegram. 1 sec here. Neighborhood. Okay, that's what it's called. Neighborhood Good Guy. That's why. Neighborhood Good Guy on Twitter. So we aren't coming for your kids. This guy's like in quotes, right?
Today's topic is all about the different types of love. True or false? There's no right or wrong age to fall in love.
This is true. People fall in love at all different kinds of ages.
Is anybody here in love?
That's pretty cool.
I'm in love with pizza. I'm in love with sour candy.
Me too.
I'm in love.
They're promoting like relationships between people at like very young ages.
with Shawn Mendes.
Amazing.
See, they
all
laugh at
kinds
that
of
one.
different relationships. There are all kinds of different ways to show love.
And when it comes down to it, love is just love. What about things that could happen if you masturbate? Since some people consider masturbation a form of self-love.
What does masturbate mean?
It's basically when you touch yourself for sexual pleasure. So a lot of people like to touch or stimulate their genitals in a way that feels good. You will want to have sex. So if we're thinking about wanting to have sex with another person,
So a kid asked, wouldn't it encourage us to want to have sex if we touch ourselves?
oftentimes not, because you can make yourself feel good on your own. So you don't really need to have sex with somebody else.
You might feel comfortable masturbating way before.
So they're trying to get little kids to start masturbating. Like they're trying to sexualize little kids. Like it's pretty fucking obvious what they're doing. You know, look at all the trans kids that they're putting out there for us to see and promote. And they're like, this is great. This is amazing. This is the best thing in the world. And then they're making them dance in front of a bunch of gay people and shit, like strippers, you know, going and doing like twerk, like you see little boys twerking in the streets and shit. You know, I saw this thing where they're making these little girls do pole dancing. And this woman's like, oh, it's a great sport and it's good for them and it's athletic. Like, stop making your kids do pole dancing, you fuckers.
You feel comfortable having sex with another person.
Absolutely. It's something really pleasant.
You see, they just
Another person.
Absolutely.
Jimmy Seville, Jimmy Seville or whatever.
Before you feel comfortable having sex with another person.
Absolutely.
Okay, I got.
Absolutely. It's something really pleasant and lovely that you can do for yourself, and it's with
Okay, I got.
Masturbating way before you feel comfortable having sex with another person.
Ah, okay. Well, that was Jimmy Seville. You guys saw. But yeah, right. So it's some pretty fucked up shit that they're teaching your kids. Be wary. Talk to your kids. Talk to your children. Please do it. Nobody watches TV anymore because people like you. It's your fault, AJ. Fuck you, Apple. French teacher had a nice rack. Nice. Yeah, I know some of my teachers are pretty hot too. This pisses me off. I just saw a clip of a teacher, man. She can fight like the blacks in Minneapolis. Yeah, it was. So I just showed she was attacking this one student. Let's see here. What did I miss up ahead here? AJ just got off work and turning in. Keep it up. Hey, Paul, how's it going, man? How are you today? Hey, Rodney Blue, how are you as well? Hope you're enjoying the show. Everybody hit the like buttons, share, subscribe, all that stuff. It really helps the channel when you do. But yeah, this type of stuff makes everybody sick. I can tell from the chat itself, you know. Why would you start to sexualize your children like this? Why get them like started? Jesus Christ, man. Like, you want your kids to be kids for as long as they possibly can until, you know, the real fucking world gets introduced to them. Because being a kid is a very short time in your life. And it seems like a long time when you're a kid, but, you know, as you get older, you realize, yeah, that was quick. And, you know, you need to spend that time being a kid instead of getting into sex and all this shit, which just is unnecessary. This is why our enemies hate us. Let's see. Why would you keep sending them to school? Well, yeah, exactly, right? You know, you take your kids out of school. Kind of like vids were shown before going into war zones. Probably, right? All right, just watch this, guys. Jews hate oppression. I think most people hate oppression. Jews hate innocence. Well, still at it, humans hate oppression. My kids are fathers. They show that shit to my grandsons. I'll go nuts on that school. Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's what's happening in Canadian schools too. You know, like, this is not uncommon. But you know what, guys, I think it's probably about it for today. Thank you all for coming, for joining me, for paying attention to the stream, sharing, liking. Like I said, I really appreciate that. I'll give you a link to the Discord once again if you haven't already followed me there or came here. Like I said, you know, it's a good place to have discussions, talk about stuff, as well as share cool stuff, interesting things that you guys come across. You know, like, or funny videos, funny cat videos and animal videos. I don't care. Or, you know, interesting animals. Like, I got a section to do with like animals and nature. So if you got like cool nature videos to post there on YouTube, post them there. Or like, you know, politics, news, anime. If you like anime, you can post some shit there. Music. If you got some music, you can go to my Discord, post some music that you want some people to listen to. Maybe that's woke, that's good, that will help Canadians, right? So, you know, go to that Discord, bring other people. The thing about Discord too is you got to watch out who goes in there, because there's a lot of people who, you know, a lot of people have been fucked over by Discord. So at the same time, it's like, you know, watch what you say, watch what you put in there. Don't put anything illegal, because then I can get fucked if you do that. But I think everybody here is smart enough to understand that, right? I love you too, NL expat. Procreate, I agree. Procreate. Do you have a voice channel in Discord? I do have a voice channel on Discord too, and I talk with people on my voice channel sometimes too. So if you want to have a discussion and I'm around and stuff, and you know, I'm there, and you guys are already having a talk, I'll jump in. You know, have a discussion if you want to talk about some stuff. You know, me and Slavey, we can discuss how taxation is theft. And how it, you know, it's terrible, and we need an anarcho-capitalist society. Thank you, Julie. Thanks for coming. I rationalized gays a long time ago. They can't procreate. Yeah. Thanks again for entertaining, chat. Yeah, thanks for the chat. You know, all you guys, thanks for your contributions. And, you know, Point Fire, I don't want to be at a fucking odds with you, man. thanks for coming along and sticking around the chat and stuff and whatever. Like, you know, like I said, like I don't think we need to be enemies. A lot of us that are kind of fighting right now, what does it have to do with maybe some words that we used and shit? And, you know, I'm sorry if I offended anybody. I'm like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be at each other's throats when a lot of times we agree on a lot of shit. So it's like, whatever, can we move past this type of shit? You know, I don't care, like with old white guy or whomever else or whatever. I don't care, but it's all good. Was just gonna say I don't trust Discord at all. Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, it's like I'm saying. Well, if you're good in there, if you're not promoting fucking shit, or you're not putting like illegal shit in there, then it should be okay. You know, it should be fine. Yeah, right. You know, just post links. You know, post like funny links. Post like a video that you don't have to. You know, you don't have to talk about. You know, don't have to expose yourself or whatever. But like I said, mine, it has a bunch of random shit in it. Like, you know, you could post funny videos, entertainment videos, nature. You know, I like nature. I like animals. I like survival videos and stuff like that. So if anybody knows cool survival videos and people, you know, I think that's kind of good stuff to learn and know as well as Canadians. And, you know, we have a lot of land and resources. And if things were to go bad, having survival skills is good, you know, and go on Discord and you can fucking go there and look at all the different videos and shit, whatever, have discussions. Conservatives are irrelevant and the only people who don't know is them. Yeah, pretty much, right? Stick together like Velcro or glue, or yeah, right. I'm on Gab Minds as well. I don't really use IDW anymore. And still on YouTube for now. Oh, you did find me on Gab and Minds? Okay. Yeah, see, because I post there all the time. Like, you know, I post to Gab, I post to Minds, I post to Reddit and all this shit, you know, to try to get more people you know, involved and stuff. And some people have a difficult time growing their channel. And if you're not sharing your stuff at all, it makes it even more difficult. Like, you know, like my content's okay, right? My content's not the greatest. And, you know, everybody is attracted to it. So it's going to take a little bit of more work for me to get my channel out there and get more people interested in my content than maybe somebody else. But even somebody who like has a better channel or whatever, like they should still be doing that too, because then, you know, you're I don't know how many good followers or not followers, but people who watch my channel who've come across through Minds, through Gab, through these things where, you know, they're great people. And I was like, man, like these are valuable resources. You know, you got to use them. Plus I got censored from Twitter a long time ago. I can't use Twitter. It's been like more than a year now. I haven't been able to use Twitter, or probably longer than that. Yeah, exactly. You know, face recognition. I'm just not even worried about hiding anymore, to be honest, man, because you know what? They're going to catch us. They're going to find you whether we hide or not. You know, being anonymous or prolong it, you're just going to prolong it by a few years maybe. But as long as you're not, you know, I'm careful about what I say, right? I see a lot of people that are not careful about what they say, and they're going to get fucked. They're going to get fucked when a few years comes down the road and they do start looking back and all this shit and whatnot. And a lot of people have said kind of instigate to violence a little bit too much. And I'm careful about what I say because I know it can be used against me. And I know a lot of the stuff I'm saying is going to be considered racist and stuff. I'm fine with that. But, you know, people got to be careful when they talk about actions and doing certain things because, you know, those people are going to be fucked for sure. But, you know, they will censor me. They'll get rid of my stuff and all that crap. But I don't think anything really legal is going to necessarily happen to me. Maybe like some hate speech type thing, but it's not going to be any type of incitement to violence type thing or whatever, right? But a lot of other people got to be careful about that shit, you know. Watch what you say, especially if you don't really believe it that much yourself. If you're not really actually willing to go out and do a lot of the shit that you say people should go out and do, then maybe you shouldn't even be saying that shit. Because you know, I would assume maybe you're just a shill, or you're a plant that's there in order to try to get people to do things violent, so then they can be put in jail, so then they can be censored even more. But yeah, December 11th, you know, I have a BitChute account as well, so I don't know if you guys want to go on BitChute and follow me there. I guess I'll go to my BitChute and share it. Why not? I got my Gab. I guess I can share that as well. I do have all my links and stuff in my other videos, not this one specifically, because whenever I do StreamYards, it doesn't save all my presets. So, you know, here, I'm just going to call, I don't even know. I think this is the page anyways. I think you can find me through there, but I'm on BitChute. I have like 330 subs on BitChute. Get a backup channel, double post. I post all my shit goes to BitChute, and I've been doing that for more than a year now, because I've been aware of this purge happening for quite a while, and I've been taking steps to make at least inroads into different things if I can, like BitChute, which I said I have like 330 people there right now. If I can get more people from here, go subscribe to me on BitChute. If anything is to happen to me soon, I will still be posting there, and you know, maybe I'll start something on DLive at one point. But yeah, you know, I lost, like, I'm banned from Twitter to the point where, you know, I got to get a new VPN. I got to get all this, you know, they make it difficult to get a new account. So I'm just like, fuck it. I don't even give a shit. But Twitter is a really good resource. It is a really good resource to meet up, to talk to different people, to be like, hey, let's have a stream. Let's do this that I just can't do anymore. Or I can't share stuff to certain hashtags where I can actually, you know, meet some normies, because you want to get your shit out to normies, right? That's the whole thing. And that's what they're doing, keeping us in these echo chambers. And that's why they censored us all off of Twitter, because we were exposing normies on hashtags to truth. And then they were like, okay, we got to get rid of this. And that's what they want to do. You know, they don't want us talking to each other. I never said, I said I need to get a VPN to get a new Twitter account, but I don't even have a VPN. Shit, I don't even have one. AJ is in cell with a big gay Abdullah. That's true. Whatever happened to Kevin Johnson? Last time I checked, he's gone AWOL to USA to save his own life. Yeah, I think he's living in the States now, I'm pretty sure, right? You know, so that's what he is doing. But here, that's the BitChute. That's my BitChute. I think I already yeah, Discord is originally for gaming things. You know, this is my Gab account if anybody wants to follow me there, I guess. Here's my Gab. You know, I usually just post my videos to Gab and shit. You know, I'll post to the Canadian group or whatever. But that's my Gab account if you want to go there. And I guess I'll share one more time my, I don't know, Discord or something. Like I said before, if you want to go there, have some discussions with me, you know, in person. Sometimes I'll be there. If you want to share videos, funny shit, you know, that's also good. And I would like that. 1 second. I just got to set it to never expire. No limit. I do that every time, but okay. And it is in the chat right now. But I'm going to keep going on for forever if I keep going, guys. So thank you again for joining me, guys. I really appreciate everybody watching. Say hello to Chupa. Hey, Chupa. Say hello to the chat. Say hello. Say hello. Okay, he said hello. I hope you all have a wonderful night. So, you know, take it easy, and don't forget the sacrifice that the veterans have done, so me and you can have these discussions right now. So what freedom of speech we have left, what freedom of speech we have left is because of them. And the only reason we're talking about this stuff is because of them. So keep honoring them, keep honoring their sacrifice, and don't let something like don't let what happened to Don Cherry happen. Don't let it just, these people have to pay. So, boycott Rogers. If you have Rogers, leave right now. And I know we don't have many options in Canada because of the monopoly system and the fact there's only like 2 other companies you could choose from. But either way, it's still better not to give your money to Rogers, and you can switch to somebody else. Stop watching Sportsnet, stop watching all that shit. And you should probably just stop watching it to begin with, right? But they should lose some money for this, and I think they will, because a lot of people really like Don Cherry. But like I said, guys, thanks for coming, and have a wonderful night. Take it easy.